There's a saying that goes, never meet your heroes, right? Do you believe in that idea? When it comes to celebrities and historic personalities, some people easily assume they are terrible people, and their money, fame, and power made them like that. So let's find out, who are the 10 historical figures that were actually secretly terrible people? Hi there. Welcome to Eventful Insights. Today we'll be delving back into the past, searching for the key figures in our history, and finding out, were they a terrible person in reality, or have they always been one, and they were just good at hiding it? Some of the persons in our list will definitely shock you, so stay tuned to know their stories. What about you? What are your initial thoughts on people who are well known? Do you agree that most of the time they are terrible people in real life? Tell us what you think in the comments below. Now, let's begin with the first person in our list, Pablo Picasso. Most people learn about Pablo Picasso in art class, where his work is often shown alongside famous artists like Leonardo da Vinci. But not everyone realizes that Picasso, who was a more recent artist and passed away in 1973, would likely have faced criticism in today's #MeToo movement. He treated women terribly, using them as his muses and subjecting them to abuse. It's hard to sum up all the bad things he did in a short paragraph, but he did things like burning a woman's face with a cigarette, cheating on his wife, leaving his illegitimate children, and much more. Sadly, 2 of his partners ended their own lives, and others went through serious mental breakdowns. Were you a fan of Pablo Picasso? Did that shock you? Next, the second person on our list is Coco Chanel. Many people admire Gabrielle Coco Chanel as the pinnacle of high fashion. However, during World War II, when the Germans occupied France, she chose to collaborate with the enemy instead of closing her shop in Paris, which would have hurt her business. To complicate matters, she got romantically involved with a high-ranking German officer named Baron Hans Gunther von Dinklage. Adding to her tarnished reputation, she betrayed her Jewish business partners, Pierre and Paul Wertheimer. Some defenders argue that she was taken advantage of by the Wertheimers due to her lack of business experience and that she maintained a friendship with Winston Churchill. Some even suggest she might have been a double agent. Did that information make you change your mind about Chanel? Now for the third person on our list, we have John Lennon. People mostly know John Lennon as a member of the Beatles and see him as a peace-loving hippie. However, it turns out he was a really abusive person. He physically harmed both his wife and kids, and he even caused one of his kids to lose hearing in one ear. His violence wasn't just at home either. Once, at a party, he got angry when a friend made a joke about his romantic trip to Barcelona with his manager, implying it was kind of gay. Lennon punched his friend so hard he had to go to the hospital and almost died. To top it off, he once admitted in an interview to having inappropriate fantasies about his own mother. What a shocking revelation about John Lennon, right? Moving to the fourth person on our list, we have Hans Asperger. Do you recall who this person is? If not, then let me help you. There's a popular book called Neurotribes that many parents of kids with autism are reading. It praises the German pediatrician Hans Asperger as a hero for supposedly saving autistic children during World War II. However, the truth is, he was part of a committee that classified autistic children based on their usefulness. Those deemed high-functioning were labeled with his newly coined Asperger's syndrome. Unfortunately, he played a role in the deaths of 35 children, marked for euthanasia under Hitler's regime. He sent them to the Am Spiegelgrund Clinic in Vienna, where they were used in scientific experiments and then killed. Now, for the fifth person on our list, it is Jerry Lee Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis, the rock and roll star from the 1950s, famous for Great Balls of Fire, had a troubled life. He used a lot of drugs and alcohol and was known for his violent tendencies. Once he nearly strangled a high school teacher. His reputation took a hit when he married his 13-year-old first cousin. Over his life, he had 7 marriages, and 2 of his wives died under mysterious circumstances, earning him the nickname The Killer because he may have been involved in their deaths. In 1976, he accidentally shot his bass player Butch Owens. How are you taking in all these shocking revelations about famous people so far? Tell us what you have been thinking in the comments below. Now let's continue with our 6th personality, Dr. Seuss. Many people have grown up reading Dr. Seuss books which remain popular in children's libraries. National Read Across America Day even celebrates Dr. Seuss's birthday. However, it turns out he had a troubled past. He cheated on his first wife, Helen, who was partially paralyzed for over a decade due to Guillain-Barré syndrome. When she discovered his affair, she took her own life. Dr. Seuss then married his mistress, Audrey, who divorced her first husband to be with him. In 2021, it was announced that 6 of his books would no longer be published due to racist undertones. Did you hear that about Dr. Seuss before? For number 7, Mother Teresa. The Catholic Church celebrated Mother Teresa as an incredibly selfless woman, even canonizing her as a saint. Throughout her life, Teresa established 517 missions globally, with many in impoverished areas of India. She raised millions of dollars, claiming it was to provide medical care, food, and shelter to the world's poorest. However, it was revealed that over a third of the people in these missions were dying without receiving any medical care. Investigators likened their suffering to that of Holocaust concentration camp prisoners. When confronted about these conditions, Mother Teresa responded by saying, "There is something beautiful in seeing the poor accept their lot. To suffer it like Christ's passion, the world gains much from their suffering." What's your take on that? We're now down to the last 3 persons on our list. Moving to number 8, we have Martin Luther. For Christians, Martin Luther is known as a 16th century monk who broke away from the Catholic Church, starting the Protestant Reformation. Many Catholics followed his lead, forming a new religious path. However, Jewish people stuck to their original faith, which angered Luther. In response, he wrote a highly anti-Semitic book called On the Jews and Their Lies, where he urged his followers to burn down synagogues to demonstrate loyalty to Christianity. His inflammatory ideas played a significant role in sparking the German Peasants' War, a bloody uprising. Did that shock you? Second to the last person on our list is Joe Kennedy Sr. Many people admire President John F. Kennedy for his time in office before his assassination, and they credit his father, Joe Kennedy Sr., for raising multiple sons who entered politics. However, it turns out that Joe was a terrible person. He deceived a woman named Gloria Swandon, pretending to invest her money but actually swindling it. Worse still, he compelled his daughter, Rosemary, to undergo a lobotomy because of her rebellious nature and mood swings. He took her to the hospital for the procedure without even informing his wife until it was over. The operation drastically affected Rosemary's life. She lost the ability to speak clearly, walk, and had to be placed in an institution. And finally, the 10th person on our list, Marlon Brando. If you're a big fan of Marlon Brando, sadly, he's been known for being a terrible person. Why so? Rita Moreno, who endured an 8-year-long relationship with Marlon Brando, reveals that he treated her so poorly that she tried to take her own life to escape the pain. Another person who suffered due to Brando's actions was his co-star, Maria Schneider, during the filming of the movie Last Tango in Paris. In a scene not in the script, Brando assaulted Schneider without prior notice, making the assault feel real and violating. Later, Schneider expressed her anger and feelings of humiliation, stating, "I felt a little raped, both by Marlon and by Bertolucci." As another saying goes, great men are almost always bad men. This suggests that having power, money, or fame can make individuals act poorly. Or maybe they were always bad, just good at hiding it from everyone. What do you think now? So that's it. We've concluded our list of 10 historic figures who are secretly terrible people. Which person among our list truly shocked you after finding out what they did? Share us your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked watching this video, support us by giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to our channel, and ringing the notification bell to get notified on our next video. Thanks for watching.